Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Out here after our midsummer break, it feels good to be back doing a little bit of work that we're filming. I just wanted to stop here and check up on this little compost pile. I've been adding an absolute ton of material. It's sitting right on the hot point. Now, we just took a ton of our farmer's market plants. This thing was absolutely heaped up about a week ago, and it has all broken down to the point where we have layers and layers of finished compost. And as you can see, I've been kind of mixing it all together with a bunch of the soil that we had just got from all of our farmer's market pots here. So we've got a nice hot compost pile. Once this ring is done by fall, we should have a full topped off ring of pretty well finished compost. We take this and spread it through the entire side of the greenhouse here to add all of that in. Let's jump back to the back side of the greenhouse and go check out what's left of our John Payne compost heater. It looks pretty wild and overgrown back here, just like a jungle. It takes over in a matter of no time when we've got all this rain we've gotten recently. Just taking a step back, we've got a lot of material. We haven't dispersed as much as we have wanted to by now, and we've got a lot of rain the last couple days, so I really just wanted to check out this pile. We're sitting maybe 75 degrees outside right now and just under 100. I checked this a few different spots. We're between 90 and 100 pretty well all over the top of the pile. You can see how dry and how much water it takes to get the top layer moist. But down in here underneath, I can feel heat coming from there too. So we are coming up to about the same point, about 95 degrees or so on the side of our compost. So this is still active, all the extra moisture dump mixed with any nitrogen that's inside, and it's still performing the compost action, creating heat and breaking all of this down using all of the natural bacteria and microorganisms and fungi to take care of this giant pile of wood chips. So shifting gears, I really wanted to come inside the greenhouse and check out what we've got going on in here as far as our greenhouse pond, the development. We just filled up the water. We added maybe 30, 40, maybe even 50 gallons of water due to evaporation and stuff. You can hear my aquaponics running down there. So we just added water. The water is a little cloudy. You can see kind of some cloudiness to it just because we had just stirred it up. So maybe it wasn't the best idea to film right after I filled this up, filming a video about water clarity and cleanliness, but this little biofilter has been performing amazingly. We are going to take a deep dive into this today. We've got a couple little baby guppies swimming around in this water here. Probably won't be able to see them in the jungle that we're working with, but just taking a step back, all of this mint just rolled right off the side. All of this mint that started in reached its way down. Nice, good water plants now. Good cover, shade, and food producer. Lots of bugs will land on there, get trapped in the water, and thus feeding all of my son's fish for absolutely free. So let's check some of these root systems out we have in here. So all of these plants, we used a little bit of mint and it went a long way, just like anywhere in the garden. But I want to check out this elderberry. This is an elderberry here, just a native North American elderberry. Now let's take a look down here. These are all the roots from that elderberry. It's kind of tough to see with all the leaves in the way and the foliage, but we've got very clean looking roots that are just doing the job of filtering this. So back in the corner here, we've got our sand filter, DIY sand filter. All of that is just blowing right down through the sand. If you haven't checked out the first video of this, check that out just to see it without all these plants inside. So as that water is being forced down through the sand and it's spreading the sand out, all of the heavy sand falls straight back down, but all of the lighter molecules get suspended for a minute and then catch a lot of material, allowing us to provide the environment for all of those bacteria that are going to break down extra nitrogen and ammonia and turn them into usable nitrates for these plants. So we're running double duty, using fish, using plants, and it's keeping a whole little ecosystem going with very little inputs too. I mean, just fish food going in here. We've been making all types of DIY fish foods that we're going to be bringing in a later video. I want to show how we're doing it, how we're drying it, and what we've been doing to supplement fish food. We do have a large bag of goldfish kernels or goldfish nuggets or pellets, whatever you want to call them. They go absolutely crazy for those. And I wanted to talk about these little cups. So these are just little aquaponics cups here. There's tons of little holes in these cups to be able to allow that water to fluctuate, flow through, roots to move through, fish to even move through, the little tiny baby guppies. We have a handful of guppies we threw down in our other tank with our aquaponics, which technically it's micro hydroponics with a few guppies in there. There are female guppies producing tons of babies, maybe a couple babies every week. So they are live bearers. They just popping out babies left and right, I guess, and they absolutely love all of the mosquito larvae. So I noticed some mosquito larvae, they just kind of squish around and squirm around in your tanks or your water, any buckets, puddles, anything you see. Most people have seen mosquito larvae before, and they are a great sustainable food source while they're lasting for all of those guppies. The guppies pretty well eradicated them out, so we're forced to feed them. They're catching lots of little flies and stuff like that naturally, but we also do want to feed them and keep them nice and healthy. My son just popped in here. He wanted to feed his goldfish, so let's check these guys out real quick. They are not nearly as voracious of eaters with the little pebbles here as opposed to the fish flakes or when we're throwing dried kale and stuff, because these have to break down a little bit and soften up before they can actually break them down into their mouth before they'll fit. So this was just a short-term alternative, getting this bag of feed until we got our own stocks and resources up of DIY fish food. So we're trying to allocate our own, possibly make our own flakes with some cornstarch and stuff, and just trying to get all of that situated before I bring a video on that. Today I really just wanted to touch on our little biofilter and give an update on it. This thing is just packed full of nutrients and bacterias. So there is a lot working in here. There is a lot of broken down material. Lots of different plants in here. This hosta even went to flower inside here. Might have a little bit of nutrient deficient. Oh, that's just dust and dirt on it. So the plants all look really good that are in here. I mean, if we were eating them, they would be of good quality to be eating. So this is a nice, well-rounded little system here. As we're pulling all the water from the bottom, all the fish waste, it's getting pumped up. All of that suspended material and waste is being caught in this bucket before it is dropped right back down this drain that is being plugged by a dead leaf here. So we'll get that little fallen leaf out of there. Bang! And now we are draining right out from down in here.
If you can see
we just gotta move our mint out to the side here. So we've got a nice little ecosystem going for our greenhouse pond. Now stay tuned to see what we do with this pond this winter, because we're going to try and keep this pond warm enough throughout the winter. Even though we see some pretty harsh cold winters, we really want to keep this warm enough with our compost heating systems and whatever we can achieve to keep my son's fish alive. So this was just a quick update on the pond, the greenhouse pond, and the greenhouse biofilter system that we've been operating here. And it is just super overgrown. Lots and lots of crops inside here, probably at least 5 to 10 different species of plants all growing together, not really competing for nutrients that I can see. Nothing's yellow, everything looks pretty darn healthy. It's quite the little feature to add to the greenhouse as an experiment. when we build our large pond outside, we're gonna do like a permaculture swimming pond with fish and stuff. So we're gonna create a large biofilter or bog filter, basically off of these same principles here. So I'd like to thank everybody for checking this one out. Just a quick update from the greenhouse after we came back from vacation here. I just wanted to show everybody what's going on. So if you guys have any questions, definitely drop those in the comments below. We're gonna try and keep all of the content coming here as we're done with our little YouTube break for the summer. So I'd like to thank all my subscribers. Thanks to everyone for watching. Let's check out our little guppy pond here. We don't have much solar activity today. Most of the guppies just hang out down underneath the little waterfall for them in here. This is like 110, 120 gallon tank of water. We're obviously missing about 50 gallons or so. There goes one swimming through my shadow there. These guppies have eliminated every single mosquito larva in this tank within a matter of a week, just by simply bringing a few down from our biofilter, throwing them in here. We were able to basically naturally eradicate the pests that cause all types of problems. Mosquitoes are horrible critters, even though they are an essential part of life for the food chain. So before this video gets any longer, we're gonna go do a little bit of work outside the greenhouse here. I'd like to thank everybody for watching this. Thanks to all my subscribers for sticking around through us taking breaks and through the winter, through the summer. We got a lot more content coming in the winter time than we do the summer, so I appreciate everybody staying with us and staying subscribed. Thank you guys again.